Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Minneapolis City Soccer. As today, Minneapolis City 2 embarks on their UPSL journey versus Inter Minneapolis. I am bringing you the action today. I am John Bisworm, co-founder and sporting director of Minneapolis City, doing it solo today as Eric Nordquist is not able to make it to join me today. But I will do my best to bring you the best action of today's match between, again, Minneapolis City 2 versus Inter Minneapolis of the Midwest Division West Conference. So today's action, like we noted, Minneapolis City 2 embarking on the journey, first ever matchup for City 2 in the UPSL, moving from the U23 side that was with the club for the past few seasons into a league in the UPSL. Should have happened in 2020. Something called the pandemic popped up, but now we are back over 365 days later and we have live soccer action. A little bit about today's foe, Inter Minneapolis. They were founded under the banner of Minneapolis International FC in 2017, primarily playing in the local Latino soccer leagues throughout the cities, but they leveled up into the MRSL, the Minnesota Recreational Soccer League, and were promoted to Division 1 in 2019, and then did what most quality sides do in the cities, level up to the MPSL or the UPSL, picking the UPSL. So they're also embarking on their first journey into UPSL soccer. So let's get a little bit over to tonight's keys to victory for Minneapolis City. Number one is tampering the nerves. This is the first real match in quite some times for these guys. So I don't think that the Crows are going to really benefit from going guns blazing, maybe getting caught on a counterattack, and perhaps doing something that may cause them some issues. So temper those nerves, relax a little bit, and just play Minneapolis City soccer. Number two, living up to expectation. It's no mystery that when you put on the city badge, there are expectations that you perform and you come home with 3 points, or you stay home with 3 points in our case today. Since this is our first year in the league with City 2, the guys have to understand that there is no room for the patented City slow start that we've seen in the past. We have a job to do. They have to do their individual jobs for the collective goal. And we definitely want the players to understand that joining this new league means they've got to start out with a W. And the last one is, will the brotherhood be the difference? We call it the brotherhood around the club, but looking at this roster sheet, a big thing that sticks out is the Crows that are flying for City today are made up of 8 full-time City 2 members. 4 NPSL players have stepped down to help round out the squad today, and then promotion of 6 futures players will make the jump up today as well. So when it comes time to play, these players have been training together in one way or another for the last 4 months. So can they bring that cohesion, even though they aren't all on the same team together regularly, with the players coming up and the players coming down? Can they get on the same page for new coach Michael Prunty, also debuting, lots of debuts today for Minneapolis City. Can Michael Prunty put together this squad and bring home a W in his first victory? Players to watch. I think that the number one player to watch for me is definitely Zach Susi. The 2020 Mr. Soccer in the state of Minnesota is making his debut with the club. A Shakopee native who plays club soccer for Salvo out west. He possesses a great soccer mind, a finishing touch, and has that track speed that you want from an attacker, specifically one like him deploying from the wing. Like I mentioned, he's a Futures standout. He's actually the first Futures player in the inaugural year of the Futures to be brought up into the senior roster. So looking for big things from Zach Susi today. But before we start and get into the lineups, I want to thank Pence Homes for bringing us that keys to the victory tonight, and TCO, our long-term partner for all of our athletic training needs, bringing us the player to watch tonight. As far as the rosters go, folks, Inter Minneapolis in goal, number 1, Jonathan Vilmalziar. Number 17, Robel Amelish. Number 15, Guy Asarif. Number 7, Hassan Adan. Number 8, Prince Akinoa. Number 11, Mohamed Keita. Number 22, Liban Khalif. Number 24, Danny King. Number 6, and captain, Abdi Ishmael. Number 18, Michael Levine. And number 13, Bertrand Ngame. And for your home, Crows, the inaugural roster For your first ever UPSL game, in goal, number 1, Mitch Wolf. Number 22, Connor Axos. Number 24, Ethan Anderson. Number 4, Will Orser. Number 21, and your captain, Josh Hoft. Number 6, Samuel Ruiz Plaza. Number 10, Jacob Popkin. Number 14, Abdi Kadi. Number 7, Abai Habat. Number 7, and player to watch for tonight's match, Zach Susi. And number 9, Josue Batule. We're going to take a quick break, folks. We'll be back at you in a few minutes, pay some bills, and we'll get this soccer game started. Welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for bearing with us there. We are seconds away from getting this first ever Minneapolis City 2 UPSL game versus Inter Minneapolis underway. The referees have checked everything, and we are ready to play some live soccer. It's been over a year since Minneapolis City put the jerseys on and played, and this is the first time that Minneapolis City 2 is ever going to be playing in the UPSL. So if you're interested in checking us out in live in action, head on over to MPLSCitySC.com and get some tickets. Hit that shop, hit tickets, and there you go. Inter Minneapolis starting off with a little bit of possession throughout the back line. It looks as if Coach Prunty is very comfortable with letting Minneapolis City just kind of let them have the ball back there and try to have a low line of pressure. Good battle in the midfield by Abdi Kadi for Minneapolis City. The referee letting him play a little bit. Nice. Connor Axos on the ball. It's snuffed out by a Inter defender. Putting the ball up in the stands. See, there's people up there. Join them next time. We got a game this Friday night. Minneapolis City versus Dakota Fusion and NPSL action, the home opener. Check it out. Through ball attempt. Another great, strong defensive play by Inter Minneapolis, but the giveaway in a bad spot. But the referee is saying that there was an infringement, and Inter is going to be getting their first free kick. If you're just joining us, folks, again, I am John Bisworm. I'm flying solo today. It's about as awkward for me to do this for you as it is for you probably to hear me. So thank you for bearing with me. I'm probably not going to get substitutes correct. I'm probably going to get a lot of game action incorrect, but I will do my best. That's all I can promise for you. So Inter Minneapolis goes backwards with their throw-in and looking for the long ball again. Looking like an early theme for Inter, trying to go direct. And that might be maybe some early nerves or potentially just the playing style that Coach Popkin for Inter is looking to do is try to catch the City defense, maybe with a higher line and try to spring their forward, which looks like it's number 18, Michael Levine up top. Another strong defensive play, this time for City, as Will Orser sees the ball out, giving way to Mitch Wolf here for the goal kick. Opting to play it short. If you're not familiar, 2021 is the first year in the UPSL and the MPSL where the new FIFA rule where a goal kick can stay within the 18-yard box. So if you're an old school soccer realist and you're wondering what the heck's going on there, that is what's happening, folks. As Ethan Anderson plays back into Will Orser, who goes back out to Ethan Anderson, looking for something down the line here, opting to go long. But that fast turf at Edor Nelson Field, the home of Augsburg University, too quick for captain number 21 Josh Hoft to catch up to. Good hold-up play by number 18 Levine. And another direct long ball. Nice cutback by Connor Axos. Looks as if we're going to have the second foul of the game today. One for each side. Looks like the referees are definitely on top of things early on, willing to make those early calls to set the precedence so we don't have maybe anything getting out of hand early. As we've seen at this level of soccer, things can get out of hand early. Popkin with good possession back to Orser. Acres of space for Orser right now. But not a lot of movement from City as we see Batule dropping back in with an errant touch. And a giveaway back to Inter. Seen a lot of good possession by the back four for Inter so far early on. However, the final ball isn't really necessarily looking to get into the midfield. A lot of stuff, like I mentioned, very direct, looking to try to find Levine, catching a pocket of space in beyond the Minneapolis City defensive line. The free kick here right around the midfield line for Inter. With the service in the box. Levine goes for the shot off of Orser's chest, back to Samuel Ruiz Plaza, and it looks as if City might have a counter here with Zach Susi making the run, but the pass could not find his feet. And again, strong backline for Inter Minneapolis. Bad giveaway. Looks as if maybe that direction that I mentioned earlier that Coach Prunty was giving to Minneapolis City is to definitely let the backline have the ball. Anything backwards will do fine. Just trying to maybe not gas the guys out in a high pressure line early on, which is smart because we mentioned that in our keys to the game that you definitely don't want to be going out guns blazing. You don't want those early errors that, all the guys have to be on the same page. The press is very hard, as we see another long ball into Levine. The press is very hard when you don't necessarily have a lot of time to train in with teams that are filling themselves out with, players for the summer. It takes a lot of time to get that cohesion. As we see another foul on Batuli with a quick free kick by Ruiz Plaza out to Josh Hoft with a streaking Susi. Chooses to go alone. That let down on the final ball as it comfortably gets into the Inter keeper. Zero sense of urgency here for Inter in the back line. And the ball will go out of bounds for a City throw. And 6 minutes in, folks. So happy to be here watching live soccer. I'm so happy that we're able to do this, and this summer is just going to be fantastic. Ruiz Plaza out to Ethan Anderson, who has some space. Goes wide to Hoft. And back to Anderson. The nice switch of the field to Orser. I think Inter is also looking to have a lower level of pressure, which clogs up the passing channels for Minneapolis City trying to go forward. And you can see there, a lot of black shirts around the ball, and City unable to find that final pass in on net. Ruiz Plaza with some good individual play here, trying to find some space, calling for someone. But again, the movement of the front three with Abai Habat, Josue Batule, and Zach Susi needs to be checking back into those spots in order for the midfield and the back line to find the ball. Another long ball again from Inter Minneapolis. This time Levine not even really giving chase as Anderson goes back to Wolf and Wolf goes over to Orser. You can tell early on that Minneapolis City, through Coach Prunty, definitely wants to keep the ball down the deck and try to play a possession-based style. Anderson with the giveaway. Susi fighting hard, drawing the foul. The first free kick for either side in a dangerous position, about 25 yards out from a good angle where you're looking to maybe get that service in behind the back line and potentially find a streaking head to connect onto this ball. The big boys are coming up from the back as you see Orser and Anderson making their way up as Jacob Popkin is going to be serving this ball in. Referee having a quiet word with Ruiz Plaza as the ball comes in. Ball free, Batule. Oh, and skies it over the bar. About as free of a header as you can get. I know he's going to want that one back. Early great chance for Minneapolis City. Popkin finding an unmarked Batule at the 6-yard box. Inter choosing to go short with the goal kick. The defender has acres of space as well. Bad giveaway to Habat. Unlucky first touch as we go out for a throw-in for Inter. The throw comes in. Good challenge by Askaz. Ruiz Plaza does the cleanup work, with Orser hanging the ball back to Mitch Wolf, finding Anderson. Popkin with some good possession. Orser back out to Anderson. That switch early on has shown that there is the space on the weak side for Minneapolis City to carry the ball forward. Inter very much so letting them have the ball in the back line. Very similar to what City's giving them from a defensive standpoint. So a lot of action happening between the 30-yard lines as Zusi goes back to Anderson, who finds Hoft with a through ball into Batule. Battling and running through the back of the defender. Looks as if we're going to have a free kick here. That time you saw some good off-the-ball movement from Botule. Hitting that pocket of space, just couldn't connect on that through pass. As the Interkeepers kind of scans for some action here. Not a lot of movement from the black shirts as he chooses to go long. And we're going to have another foul on Inter. Anderson chooses to go quick to Ruiz Plaza. Good bit of 1-2 and unable to connect on the final pass as Anderson swings wide to Hoft. Into Popkin. Heavy first touch with the giveaway straight to the Minneapolis defense. Abdi Kadi on the ball with some space. Into Habat. Back into Ruiz Plaza. So far, Ruiz Plaza had a lot of time on the ball. Maybe something that we're going to see a lot of today with that pocket of space in behind the front line from a defensive perspective. Good 1-2 from Habat. Oh, and a foul. And showing the straight red right away. Not something you see early on in a match. First foul looked as if for the Inter defender, with the referee showing the straight red as Kadi gets pulled up off of the turf. Discussion happening here with the ref. And it looks as if the ref has potentially shown the wrong card. Shown the red initially for the challenge, then going to the yellow, perhaps not recognizing that the red card should be in the back pocket and getting the colors mixed up. Luckily for Inter Minneapolis, definitely getting away with one there. Didn't necessarily see that challenge, specifically being the defender's first challenge, being a straight red card. It was a heavy challenge in a dangerous position, but Minneapolis City has a great opportunity here 20 yards out after the referee gets the call right, ends up reverting back to the yellow card, and we're still full strength here as Minneapolis City looks to play the ball in. Habat looking to go back post, a little too strong for Hoft. I don't know, folks, if I've ever seen that happen before in a lower level soccer match where the referee goes initially for the card and happens to be the wrong color. Quite embarrassing, but glad he got it right. Definitely want to see full strength action here, specifically in the first half, early on in the first half, as Inter chooses to go short. Choosing again to go direct. Levine has had his work cut out for him with all of those long balls. Not a tall striker, by any means, but definitely working hard to try to get on the other end of those. But seems to be on the as a through ball comes in, another one to Levine, this time able to connect on it. Back to number 7, Hassan Adan, who gives the ball away to Ruiz Plaza, finding Botule, unable to turn and continue the counterattack. But City is definitely happy with keeping the ball. Orser goes out wide to Anderson. Anderson to Hoft. Back to Anderson, into Popkin. Little popped up heavy touch there. Orser trying to find someone to connect with. Chooses to go short to Akaz. Into Popkin. Great turn. An individual play to get out of the traffic. Ruiz Plaza with a little shimmy. You can tell when Ruiz Plaza's on the ball. He's looking to try to connect. Ooh, bad giveaway by Habat. Into Levine. Splits the defenders. And into the near post past Mitch Wolf. This is exactly what we were talking about, folks. With that high line of pressure after that giveaway, not able to recover. Levine finding space in between the central defenders with a great pass from captain Abdi Ishmael, who slots one through to him. Cool finish past Mitch Wolf, who really could not do anything, hung out to dry. And Inter Minneapolis, with 15 minutes into the match, on the road, takes the lead over Minneapolis City. Definitely not the start you want from the home side. But with the bouts of possession and looking to keep the ball, you look to City to definitely not panic and to keep the ball, look for that possession, and potentially find a pocket of space and get some opportunities on target. Hasn't had anything dangerous outside of that free header by Batule, as Will Orser goes long into Akaz, who's able to get on the other end of it and wins the goal or the corner kick. But like I was saying, not a time to necessarily panic. Lots of soccer left. The ability for a team that looks to be possession focused in what Coach Prunty is directing his players for today. Not anything that you can't overcome, but definitely being down early in your first match of the season is something that you definitely are not looking for. Popkin on the corner kick, looking to play the ball in here. Once again, the bigger bodies are up for City. As Popkin plays the ball in. Short, ball bouncing around. Looks like an inner defender got a foot on it, out for a throw-in. If you're intercoach Popkin, if you're hearing Popkin a lot, Jason Popkin is the father of Jacob Popkin, who plays for Minneapolis City, but Coach Jason Popkin definitely doesn't want his defense allowing any balls bouncing in the 6-yard box. Definitely wants to get a foot on it or a head on it. Josh Hoft in, great clearance by the inner defender. Out for another throw-in. Quickly into Popkin. Looking to put it in the mix. And another long ball looking for Levine. Honestly, if Inter really was just looking to find the feet of Levine, the space is there to find his feet and hold up the play to allow his teammates to come and support him. But they're continuing to look to go long as Ruiz Plaza looks to take an early free kick into Anderson and back out to Ruiz Plaza. Every time Ruiz Plaza is on the ball, he really is looking to go forward, but there just isn't that movement that he desires to find the foot of any one of his teammates. Trying to find the ball into Batule, who finds Kadi. Oh, and a bad first touch by Abdi Kadi. Ends up going to the inner goalkeeper. Would have liked to have that one back, perhaps on the ground, but looking to go quick. Finding a nice pass down the end line as Akaz is trying to track back and does. Nice defensive play by Connor. And another foul by Inter Minneapolis. The fouls are starting to rack up. You're maybe looking at the referee looking for maybe some persistent infringement for some of these players, as a lot of Minneapolis City players have been run through the back by Inter defenders, as Mitch Wolf carries the ball up into Orser, scanning the field again for a player to find, but just not a ton of movement. finds Plaza. Into Popkin. And back to Orser. Orser goes long. Oh, bad giveaway. And once again, Inter going long. And if I'm Minneapolis City, specifically the back line, I'm okay with all of the long balls coming in. Although, you know, there was the pocket of space that was given up. But Abdi Khadi with some good footwork here, looking to pull the trigger, but another foul. This time, top of the box. And the referee is going into his pocket as the captain, Abdi Ishmael, wondering what's going on here with the referee. But it looks as if we have another yellow card for Inter Minneapolis. This time, referee got the color right, which is good. As the referee sorts out his book, looking at Abai Habat and Connor Axaw, looking at both a right and a left-footed player on the ball here, and potentially with an opportunity to get a shot on frame as the referee backs the wall up here, 10 yards. For me, this is the distance where you're not looking to pass. You definitely have a good angle on a shot, potentially a good left-footed option, but it looks as if right into the wall from Connor Axaw. Back to Hove, who tries from distance, but again blocked as Zach Susi finds space, looking to take his defender 1v1. Chooses to go backwards. You really would have liked him to get the ball in there, but Captain Abdi Ishmael finding his way out, and Inter Minneapolis is on the counter, finding Levine up top, but he was offsides. The most dangerous bit of play so far from a combination perspective by Inter Minneapolis there. This looks as if the ball was moving on the free kick. Ruiz Plaza will get us started here. Chooses to go wide to Orser. Into Khadi. And Orser finds the touchline out for a throw. 21 minutes in, the score line is 1-0 on a cool finish from Michael Levine. Putting Inter Minneapolis up 1-0. The first ever UPSL goal scored for Inter Minneapolis. So congrats to you, Mr. Levine, going into the history books. It's as if we got a player down in the turf. Looks like Akaz. Throw in coming in for Inter Minneapolis. Good bit of skill. And getting out of tight space there. Into Ishmael. Into number 15, Guy Asaraf. But back out to Minneapolis City on the break here. Susi choosing to go short versus trying to find a streaking attacker. Once again, folks, if you weren't with us in the beginning, Zach Susi, the Futures call-up, the first Futures call-up in the program history to a senior squad, our player to watch tonight, hasn't had a lot of opportunity to do what he does best and really going at defenders because they're the high or the low pressure backline from Inter Minneapolis. Another giveaway by Khadi in the middle, and Inter looks to combine on the attack, but City does a great job in tracking back and winning possession as Abai Habat plays the ball back into Connor Akaz, into Ruiz Plaza, who again is looking to go forward, just nothing there. Hoft into Susi. Susi playing the through ball to Hoft. If you can get on the other end of it. What we've seen so far from the back line of Inter Minneapolis is very good speed, good organization, definitely winning the 50-50 balls that City has been trying to put in. Choose to go short here, but once again, another long ball into Levine that is just eaten up by City defense. But Inter gets the ball back as they go out wide to Levine, looking to go 1v1. Great defensive effort by Anderson and Popkin to break that up. And it looks as if City's going to go on the attack here into Susi. finds Batule, but great closing speed again. Like I was mentioning, the backline for Inter has a lot of athleticism from a speed perspective and able to maybe make up those distances where some slower central defenders might not be able to get on the end of those, so that the team speed back there has definitely been shown here early on. We have another corner kick from the opposite side here for Jacob Popkin, looking potentially for an in-swinger as Akaz and some of the bigger players, Orser up in there in the mix as we look to play the ball in here from Popkin. Much like the last corner, not necessarily getting over that first defender. You really want that to drop into the middle of the 6-yard box instead of getting snuffed out on the initial player who's by the 6. But another opportunity for Popkin to play the ball in. Hoft coming short, asking for some space from the defender. Popkin serves the ball in, bouncing in, unable to connect on it was Habat. Axos plays into Kadi. Kadi to Susi. Susi winds up. Good save by the keeper. Lots of space there for Susi, but it looks as if there was potentially an earlier foul that the referee is calling. Way back at the around 35 yards out. Not sure what happened there, but City will take the ball and get it in short. Huffed out to Susi. Susi able to go 1v1. Decides to play the ball into Orser. Oh, great defensive header by Inter, going out for yet another Minneapolis City corner kick. And it looks as if Popkin again is going to take this, looking for him to get a ball in past the first defender. It's like on the left foot of Popkin. Chooses to go short to Ruiz Plaza with the giveaway. But tracks back, able to keep possession. Would have liked to see that one gone into the mix. See Orser out wide to Hoft. Into Plaza. Plaza to Popkin. Back to Plaza. With a giveaway. Hoft comes in with a good tackle. All ball first. Orser to Susi. Knocked off the ball and out for an Inter throw-in. Good individual defensive play. Hoft with another strong challenge. Really looking to get stuck in by the captain. Into Popkin. Through ball out to Akaz. And another foul. We're looking at the point now, folks, where it's double digits fouls for Inter and 2 yellow cards, potentially more on the way. But another dangerous chance for Minneapolis City. All of that play was really on the back of a strong Connor Axos overlapping run from the left back position, getting into that space and really looking and being willing to get forward. We have Abdi Kadi for City on the ball, looking to serve this one in. Lofted back post to Susi, to Hoft, on the touch. Axos. Kadi fighting for it back, and it looks as if Inter's on the counterattack here. A good ball in from Levine, but the City defense is able to snuff it out. A quality pass from Inter into their target striker there definitely would have caused fits for Minneapolis City as they were tracking back from having numbers forward from the free kick. Habat unable to control the ball, but Inter out wide for a City throw-in. Oh, that hung on for a goal kick. Wolf to Orser. Orser into Kadi. Back to Wolf. Wolf to Anderson with Tons of space. Good turn by Popkin. Looking to find Batule, but once again, the back line of Inter Minneapolis stuffing out a potential through ball option. Would have maybe liked to see Popkin slot that ball in on the ground to a streaking Batule, but that bouncing ball was able to be tracked out by Inter Minneapolis. Out wide for an Inter throw-in. Oh, not allowed to lift your foot up for a throw-in, folks. So we have a throw-in infringement. The ever so popular foul throw-in goes to Minneapolis City as Kadee on the ball, streaking through, finds Susi, who goes out wide to Hoft. 1v1, back into Popkin, who slots it through. Great save by the Inter keeper as Inter is trying to scramble to clear that one out, and they do so. But looks as if we have an injury potentially. The Inter Minneapolis keeper is down. It looks as if maybe he collided with someone or potentially landed funny coming down after making that save on the Popkin shot. But while we have some time here, folks, definitely want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors. Pence Homes. Purchasing or selling a home can be a difficult process, but you are in luck. The experts at Pence Homes. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Pence Homes is the top choice for buyers and sellers. Pence Homes, a division of Keller Williams Classic Realty Northwest. Visit pencehomes.com. Also, Twin City Orthopedics. Contact sports are bound to cause minor as well as major injuries during a season, and Minneapolis City is in good hands with our longtime sports medicine partner, Twin Cities Orthopedics, to get properly trained and keep our players on the field. If you're looking for rehabilitation from an injury, TCO offers a wide range of specialty services to help you achieve your goal of returning to full health. If you're interested in connecting with TCO, head on over to tcomn.com. And finally, Southside Barber Lounge. If being stuck at home the last year has taught us one thing, friends, it's that personal care may have fallen down a few pegs on the priority list. Well, you are in luck with services ranging from the basics like your routine haircut and beard trim to advanced options like that specialty cut or a hot lather shave. Southside Barber Lounge, located on 38th and Bloomington in Minneapolis, is your one-stop shop for men's grooming. If you're interested in learning more about their services, visit southsidebarberlounge.com. And finally, as always, our shirt sponsor, Summit Brewing Company. Thank you, as always, to Summit. So with the stop in action, we hope that it's nothing serious for the Inter keeper. But to this point in the match, possession definitely in favor of Minneapolis City. The willingness that Coach Prunty has put into his team to keep the ball and have that patience has definitely been on display. And from the other side of the ball, Inter Minneapolis really not necessarily looking to combine as much as Minneapolis City is and keep possession, but definitely looking to go direct. So it looks as if we're 32 minutes in, folks. Still scoreline 1-0 on a Michael Levine goal in the 6th minute. And it looks as if the Inter keeper is up. Thank you to our sponsor, TCO, our trainer from TCO coming out there to make sure everything's okay. And we're going to get back into action with, I believe, a drop kick that will be going to Inter. But the players are making their way back after some likely instruction from their coaches and their leaders. And we'll be back to play here in a second. Looks as if the drop ball is going to be going by way to Minneapolis City. Or not. We're going to throw it back to the goalkeeper. Good to see that he's okay, folks. Another long through ball into Inter Minneapolis. Ethan Anderson fighting, but Hoft cleaning up. Finding Popkin with the giveaway. Good defensive play by Hassan Adon for Inter Minneapolis. Abdi Kadi on the ball. Going back to Anderson, over to Orser. Into Popkin with a bad giveaway, and Levine is looking to chip the keeper, but Mitch Wolf for City had that covered. Very quickly back on his end line to save the chip. Levine looked as if he had space to be able to carry that a few touches before potentially going in 1v1. Bad giveaway by Batule into Inter, trying to find Levine. But once again, the City defense locking up into Susi. Finding Abai Habat into Connor Axos. With the service in, cleaned up by Inter Minneapolis. But it looks as if the referee is calling a high kick on number 6, Captain Abdi Ishmael for Inter Minneapolis. It looks as if we're going to have an indirect kick inside the 18-yard box for Minneapolis City. So another dangerous location for Minneapolis City from a free kick perspective. Ishmael pleading his case with the referee. I didn't really see anything in it that would have been dangerous, and it looked as if none of the players on the field did either. But at the end of the day, referee decision, calling it a high kick, going into an indirect kick within the 18-yard box. Maybe something that we'll see here, something drawn up from a set-piece perspective in the training ground by Coach Prunty. But Inter Minneapolis is getting their wall moved back to the 6-yard box. Not a lot of space to go too close to frame, specifically with it being an indirect kick and most likely an on-rushing back line. But let's see what City can do here. Looks as if it's Botule and Habat on the ball, calling over Axos. Into Susi, who finds Orser, and we have our equalizer, folks. Not sure who drew that one up. But back post, quick pass, finding Susi, who ends up slotting a ball into Orser, and we are tied, folks. Minneapolis City drawing level by way of an indirect free kick inside the 18-yard box in the 36th minute of the first half. And we're now back to level playing field. Inter Minneapolis set up that wall, looking more so for potentially, I don't know necessarily what they were thinking from a defensive standpoint, as that's not going directly on target, leaving two players in Susi and Orser back post, able to do a two-man game and find the open goal behind an on-rushing inner keeper. And we are level as Minneapolis City gains possession here in the back line. Ethan Anderson carrying the ball, finding Hoft here on the wing. Back to Anderson with some space to carry. Good first touch by Susi. Ends up having the giveaway. Bringing down Ishmael for an Inter Minneapolis free kick. Choosing to go long again. Levine having a busy day. All alone up top for Inter Minneapolis. Hoft out wide to Zusi. Finding Habat into Batule. One-on-one with the keeper, but was offsides. Good interchanging play from the Minneapolis front three there. Finding Susi out wide. Abai Habat coming in and grabbing the free space. Finding Batule, but ending up being offsides. And it looks as if we maybe have some blood here on number 15 of Inter Minneapolis, Guy Asaraf, as he makes way to go get that cleaned up. And Inter looks to go in long once again to Levine. Orser carrying through, finding a streaking Axos again. unable to connect on it, but the willingness again from Axos to get forward. And another foul from Inter Minneapolis in a dangerous position. But like I was saying, the ability for an attacking defender to maraud up and down the sidelines, definitely something that Connor Axos is willing to do for City today. And a number of times found on the ball, not necessarily been able to get in and find that final pass in the final third, but definitely causing fits for the winger that's marking him on the outside. As free kick looking to go in here from Abai Habat. Popkin takes it. Good defensive clearance from Inter. Out wide to Hoft, who has the ability to bring it in. Not a strong ball into the mix. Looking to go 1v1 here with the giveaway, but Popkin cleans it up. Trying to go 1v1. Lots of bodies in there. And Inter Minneapolis looks to be on the break. Lots of black shirts that are not making their way up, but good job by Susi to track back. And Inter finds the ball, looking to keep maybe a little bit of possession here. Good tackle by Kadi, forcing Inter to go backwards. Good turn by number 21, Thomas Bennett for Inter Minneapolis. Popkin on the ball. Once again, finding Axos in pockets of space in behind the midfield, but unfortunately out wide for a goal kick. The past few goal kicks, Inter has chosen to go short, and they're choosing to go short once again, but it's ultimately ended up with a long ball into Levine, who's by himself up top. Not a lot of options for him to get on the ball when everything's coming up long. Hoft able to track down the through ball into Mitch Wolf, who chooses to throw out to Susi, checking back in. Nothing able to go forward, and it has to go backwards to Ethan Anderson and swing the ball over to Will Orser. Orser into Kadi. Ruiz Plaza. Over to Anderson, into Popkin. Out wide to Hoft. Finds Susi, trying to get past the defender. Hoft finds the ball. And another foul for Inter Minneapolis. And this could be a dangerous position once again on the corner of the box for Minneapolis City to serve one in. Scoring by way of the free kick, Will Orser finding the net for the first time for Minneapolis City 2 in the UPSL, in the record books for himself. But Abai Habat looking to serve this ball in, past a two-man wall. Serves the ball in. Batule, another free header over the bar. That's his second of the day. Definitely wants both of those back. And if we connect on those two, you're looking at a 3-1 going into halftime. Unfortunate for Minneapolis City. Very good opportunity. And if you're Inter Minneapolis, you're really going to have to try to lock up defensively on those free kicks. Doing a great job in covering the through balls as Popkin fights his way on the ball. Ruiz Plaza with a giveaway. But Kadi fighting hard, going out wide to Susi with some space, trying to keep the ball in. Finding Kadi again. Unable to get that ball in, committing a foul himself. Potentially a situation where nobody gave him a shout letting him know that he had an Inter defender rushing on his back. Gives the ball away. Would have liked to keep that one and potentially get a shot on target, but Inter Minneapolis doing a great job of tracking back as they get in the free kick here. Choosing to go out wide. Habat with an unlucky touch. Into Levine. Choosing to go backwards. And a long effort going well over, out of the stadium, into the park. Not really a situation where you beat the keeper with successful odds from 25 yards out, specifically when the ball's bouncing like that. Very hard to connect on one of those, and you see it careening over the backstop into the park. But City taking the free kick again, willing to go short, willing to play across the back. Lots of confidence from the back line from Minneapolis City. Like I said, willing to keep the ball and not necessarily press going forward. As Habat goes back to Orser, back into Habat. Looking to find Ruiz Plaza. Into Popkin, into Habat. Finding Axels again, streaking forward on the left foot, slotting one back. Kadi on it. Choosing to try to go 1v1 instead of shooting there. Hoft cleaning things up, keeping the ball in the defensive third. And the clearance for Inter going off the light pole, saving that one from going on Highway 94. But out for a Minneapolis City throw-in. Into Ishmael. Back to Wolf. Trying to find a streaking Susi if he can get on the end of it. And he does. Battling with the defender. Finally getting on the ball. Trying to find Hoft. Unable to keep it in. Ethan Anderson on the ball, looking to serve one in right into the waiting arms of the Inter Minneapolis keeper, who chooses to go quick and long into Levine. But the Minneapolis City backline there to snuff it out. Mitch Wolf keeping possession into Orser, who goes long himself. Axos cleaning things up. Ruiz Plaza goes wide to Hoft. Anderson scanning, finding Hoft again. Hoft into Susi, but the ball going out of bounds. Didn't think the whole ball went out there, but the assistant referee thinking that it did, and we have a throw in to Inter Minneapolis. Choosing to go backwards. And the first half of action has ended. We're looking at 1-1. Inter Minneapolis scoring in the 6th minute and Minneapolis City scoring in the 32nd minute off of a set piece. A decent start for your home opener for Minneapolis City 2. Definitely looking to clean a few things up, but we will take a break, folks. We'll talk about our first half action, and then we'll get the second half going as soon as possible. And welcome back, folks, from that halftime break. We are knotted up at 1-1 in the first UPSL game of the season for both Minneapolis City 2 and Inter Minneapolis. Quick recap of the first half. From a statistics standpoint, got a few things wrong. Gonna correct them. The goal for Inter Minneapolis was scored by Levine in the 15th minute, followed by a goal by Will Orser from Minneapolis City to tie the game in the 37th minute, where we currently stand. As far as bookings go, Inter Minneapolis has 2, coming by way of number 2, Stanley Luke, and number 15, Guy Asarov. As far as the recap goes, definitely looking at a tale of 2 different playing styles. Definitely a hard-fought battle in the first half, with both teams getting stuck in. Lots of fouls going by way of Inter Minneapolis, but City definitely sharing the possession the sharing the possession numbers in their favor with a line share of the ball, trying to find the pockets of space to penetrate into the defensive third of Inter Minneapolis. But on the other side of that coin, looking at the organized, athletic, super fast backline of Inter Minneapolis, who is just getting on the other end of any through ball situation. So look for Coach Prunty to have some potential halftime adjustments to keep those through balls maybe potentially on the ground, or trying to find feet, having the offensive attack for Minneapolis City drop in and receive the pass to feet versus into space. Inter Minneapolis in the first half, very heavy and reliant on the long ball, not looking to potentially build like Minneapolis City is trying to do, but looking to catch on the quick counter up top to Levine. We saw in the 16th minute goal by Levine, excuse me, a giveaway by Abdi Khadi for City in the middle, which then that quick counterattack did happen with the two center backs not being able to pinch in to drop back. Levine finds some space in between. Captain Abdi Ishmael for Inter Minneapolis slotting a nice weighted pass through and then scoring that goal. The play of the midfield when they do get the ball for Inter Minneapolis through Ishmael and through Guy Saroff, they do have the ability to play and combine those passes, but clearly the direction is more direct for Inter Minneapolis coming by way of Coach Popkin. Standout player for me in the first half, definitely Minneapolis City 2 left back Connor Aksos. Constantly up and down the wing, putting in a shift defensively, as well as putting in the work on the offensive end, getting in between not only the right wing but also behind the right back, and just hasn't quite had the ability to pull off that pinpoint inch perfect cross via his left foot to find a on-streaking central midfielder, potentially someone like Ruiz Plaza, Abdi Khadi, Popkin coming through that middle, or Josue Petule as a striker in the first half. But back and forth game, exciting soccer action, exactly what we were looking for, folks. And we're going to take another quick break before we get back in the action. Thank you, as always, to our sponsors, Pence Homes, Twin City Orthopedics, and Southside Barber Lounge. More in a few moments. Welcome back, folks. We are about to get the second half underway. 1-1 tie between Inter Minneapolis and Minneapolis City. Looks to be one change coming off the bench for Minneapolis City is forward Cole Schwartz on for midfielder Abdi Khadi, looking to potentially bolster the attack. Coach Prunty has moved Butule out wide left and brought Abai Habat into the central part of the field. And as the referee checks the numbers on the field, we are about ready to get underway. Second half action here at Edor Nelson Field, the home of Augsburg University, but the summer home for Minneapolis City and Minneapolis City 2. And we are underway with City playing the ball back to Ruiz Plaza from Cole Schwartz, getting his first touches of action in the second half. But Inter doing a great job of intercepting, but letting down on the final ball. Captain Ishmael on the ball, sending it back out wide. Through ball in. Easily handled by goalkeeper Mitch Wolf. Again, looking as if the trend of the first half for Inter, looking to get more direct. Once again, right off the bat in the second half, the exact same thing. We talked about it at halftime that they have the ability to play within the middle, but potentially looking to bypass that, trying to catch Minneapolis City on a counter. And that's how we scored the goal in the 16th minute for Inter. Forward number 18, Michael Levine, finding some space. And that's how the game scoring started, and it's been pretty much the same ever since. Popkin looking to find Cole Schwartz to the feet, unable to collect that. Here's a nice bit of brief possession by Inter. Ishmael scanning, finding Levine to feet. Going out wide. And a shot on target, and Mitch Wolf laying out, comfortably making that save. Really his first save of the match. choosing to go short out wide to Anderson. And Anderson switches field to Orser. Keeping possession into Plaza. Plaza scans the field, trying to find runners. Finding Zach Susi, player to watch. Looking to find Schwartz. Intercepted again by that backline, but quickly on it. Batule in on goal. Oh, great defensive play by Inter Minneapolis. Once again, that backline's been stellar for Inter Minneapolis today. Definitely putting in the work. Susi with a heavy first touch. Out for the goal kick. Choosing to go short. And directly out of bounds for a throw-in. Not what they were looking for right there. Hoft goes back to Anderson, finding Plaza. Plaza turning. Into Popkin. Back to Anderson. Looking to find the feet of someone, and Cole Schwartz is ruled offsides for Minneapolis City 2. Referee choosing to let the play go. Through ball into Levine. Great first touch. Looking to battle off Anderson. Finding the ball into his winger. Nice through ball through. And an easy save for Mitch Wolf. Choosing to throw out wide to Batule. Who pops back into Habat. Habat turning back to Popkin. Out wide to Axos. Batule with a nice bit of bodying off the defender. Choosing to go through the middle. Finding Habat. Play on calls referee. Looking to slot in Susi, but a little bit too far. Nice bit of possession there by Minneapolis City. Unlucky with that final ball in the final third. Seems to be the running theme for Minneapolis City today. That last pass in a dangerous position, getting a little bit overcooked and not finding the feet of the attacker. Popkin with a great step, but unable to keep possession as Ishmael, who's having a great game, I think, in the middle of the field, intercepts that pass. Another nice bit of play by Inter as they streak down the right side. Calling for the handball. Didn't see it. Susi back to Hoft. Back to Susi with a turn. Finding some space. Not a lot of movement. Kind of directing traffic. Looking for someone to make a cutting run in to find the feet. Batule makes that run, but then gives the ball back. Inter Minneapolis started out definitely going direct with that long ball, but ever since then has been trying to play out with trying to find those combinations from the back line into the midfield and doing a decent job of it so far. Not necessarily capitalizing fully on it in the offensive third, but definitely getting some of the, nice back heel by Habat to Popkin. Trying to find a streaking Susi who gets on the end of it. Passes to Habat. Great tackle by the Inter Minneapolis defender. Like giveaway. Levine fighting. Play on, says the referee. Levine, mazy run through. And a good cutback. Finding his streaking winger. But not a lot of black shirts from a numbers perspective getting forward. Shot on target, blocked by Orser. Ruiz Plaza finds Batule with a step over. Luckily gets through. But once again, that final ball letting Minneapolis City down. Comfortably collected by the Inter goalkeeper. Lots of space starting to open up here as both teams are getting a little bit stretched, trying to just pick apart the opposition, finding the area to make that quick run, trying to vary up things as the first half really was a tale of two sides, kind of low pressure, not really wanting to make too many mistakes. Now it's opening up a little bit, and you're starting to see both teams finding those pockets of space. Specifically, more so capitalizing on it would be Inter Minneapolis, but some of those crucial giveaways after the second or third pass is really hindering them from finding someone like Levine, who's proven to be dangerous up top. As Ruiz Plaza carries in over midfield stripe, finds Abai Habat. Through ball into Exos, able to keep it in, finding the service, but no one on the end of it. Susi's fighting for it. The ball goes out wide for an Inter throw-in, deep in their defensive third. The defender chooses not to be the one to throw that one in. Passes it off to a friend. Levine bodied up by Anderson. Popkin with the good interception. Finding Orser. Into Habat. Habat with the giveaway, but Hoft able to intercept the 50-50 ball, looking to go wide for Susi. I don't think Susi was quite ready for that. You'd like to see Hoft cutting it back in, possibly maybe finding a combination off of Schwartz, who was open, or even testing the inner keeper, who hasn't really had much to do from a save perspective. Ishmael with an uncharacteristic giveaway there, straight out of bounds. Minneapolis City gets it in quick as Anderson finds Orser with some time. Into Habat. Into Popkin. And a foul for going through the back of Popkin. Maybe look for the referee in the second half to try to tamper down the persistent fouling that we saw ending the first half, as we see our first foul of the second half going way of Minneapolis City. Ruiz Plaza fighting for it. Good tracking defense to break up a potential counterattack. For an inner throw-in right in front of the Minneapolis City bench. And Habat wins the throw-in of a nice little cheeky flick. Ball into Schwartz, who collects it. Good hold-up play. Axos strong on the ball. You would have maybe liked to see advantage played by the referee, but calling the ball back for a free kick for Minneapolis City, just about 25 yards or so out. Quick into Habat. No one making the run. Service comes in. Batula gets a foot on it. Into Orser. Orser takes a swing at it. Second swing at it. Couldn't quite connect, but a good opportunity for Minneapolis City in a dangerous spot. Axos into Habat. And another foul. Referee telling the inner Minneapolis player that is enough, which I like to see from the referee. Letting both teams play, but definitely understanding where there was a foul in the exact same spot by the exact same player just moments ago, and definitely not going to have any of it. Having a final word with the player. As Habat on the ball here, looking to maybe set something up and try to getting a ball into a dangerous position. And Popkin on the left foot could also swing something in here. Looks to be Habat to take it. An overlapping run by Popkin. Service in. Hoft had an opportunity, colliding with the keeper and going down on the turf. Looked a little awkward, but Susi, recognizing that he needed to track back, doing a great job to stifle that inner counterattack. And Hoft is gingerly coming back into frame here. Looks as if he might have taken a knock. Strong effort from the Inter Minneapolis goalkeeper, who did go down on contact with a good dummy by Cole Schwartz. Not able to complete that, though. But the Inter Minneapolis keeper did take a knock in the first half. Good to see that he's back and able to do that. Another ball into Schwartz. Calling for the handball, but I didn't quite see that there. Choosing to go long. Orser on the header. Ruiz Plaza keeping possession. Into Hoft. Back to Plaza. To Orser. Anderson with a little bit of space. Finding Popkin to feet. Back to Anderson. Goalkeeper Mitch Wolf collecting the pass. Lots of space for Ruiz Plaza to eat up here. Finding the through ball into Habat. Just maybe mishitting that slightly. Habat looking for it maybe in his path on the run he was making, but the pass ended up going out wide for a throw-in. Habat winning the header. Schwartz with the ability to potentially turn there, let the ball run, but gave away. And Inter looks to combine here, switching the field, trying to find a different point of attack. Choosing to go long again. Lots of opportunities for Inter Minneapolis to really combine there. Another one, too, where the right winger had the chance to check back in to get that ball to feet, but chose to stay inch tight to the Minneapolis City backline, trying to spring something forward. Ball into Levine. Levine's got a great first touch, folks. I've been very impressed with him so far. Cross in. Hoft with a good 1v1 defensive effort by captain Josh Hoft. But the clearance letting him down. Popkin trying to get it, but Ruiz Plaza cleaning it up. Batule back into Ruiz Plaza, looking to counterattack, but not enough numbers forward. Chooses wisely to lay the ball off to Habat, keep possession, and Minneapolis City is on the break. Ball on the foot of Zach Susi, our player to watch today, looking to go around his defender. Great slide tackle. Good 1v1 battle there between both players. Inter looking to keep possession. And a foul by Anderson. Inter Minneapolis, the free kick right around the 45-yard line. We're 58 minutes in, folks. Game's still tied at 1-1. Decent chances, I would say. Nothing of quality for either side. But you're hoping that as this game starts to open up, that more chances are going to be coming soon. Hopefully for Minneapolis City, but also Inter showing that they can be dangerous with a long ball effort in, easily picked out of the air by Exos. As Susi's on the ball, looking to switch field on the diagonal ball. Batule getting on the end of it, but not a lot of support. Going around his defender, Cole Schwartz inside the box with a shot. Blocked. And Inter looks to counter. Oh, bad giveaway. But good step by Exos. Hoft making the run. Plaza and keeping the ball into Popkin. Popkin letting one fly. Easily going out for a goal kick to Inter Minneapolis. Nothing that the goalkeeper was worried about there, but you like to see the effort from Popkin. Haven't had a lot of shots from distance, and it looks as if we're getting our next substitution for Minneapolis City as Scott Heinen on for Josue Batule. So looking potentially for a different level of attack coming on as Heinen is more of your traditional wing player, as Batule was just out there maybe just eating some minutes up in the second half until Heinen was fully fit and available to come into this match. First touch for Heinen on the ball, looking for Schwartz, keeping it collected, again looking for the 1-2, unsuccessful. Schwartz with an open shot, great save by the keeper, and a clearance out for Inter. Possibly the best opportunity that Schwartz has had all day in the second half since coming on, and a great save when the first real test for the Inter Minneapolis keeper. As play continues, we have a foul. Josh Hoft running through the back of the Inter Minneapolis winger. starting to get a little bit physical. I think both teams are really starting to make that push for finding that game winner. With just under a half hour left to go in this game, really anyone's game at this point. We've talked about the fact that Inter likes to go direct. That's very dangerous. We've seen it happen specifically at this level in the past, where it only takes one well-calculated long through pass, and you can really sneak one out here, especially when you're on the road. Habat looking to go 1v1, finds Heinen, can't quite collect it into Cole Schwartz. Bad first touch by Anderson, but good tracking back from Levine. Levine's been very active. It looks as if we're taking a little bit of a break here. The referee is off frame, tending to an issue on the field. Talking with Captain Ishmael right now. Be interested in hearing what that conversation might be. Going to give a drop ball to Inter. Not sure what happened there, but Minneapolis City doing the sporting thing, letting Inter have the ball back as the game gets underway. And Ishmael chooses to go back, keeping possession. Another direct long ball looking for Levine. Been busy chasing those down all evening, as Inter looks to get bodies forward. Good defensive cover there by Anderson as Hof looks to carry the ball up the field. A streaking Heinen looking for the ball. Into Schwartz. Good turn. Finding Heinen. Can he get on the end of it? Once again, folks, that defense for Inter Minneapolis, the speed that they possess and able to track down those through balls has been very impressive all day. Minneapolis City with a throw-in. Into Plaza, who finds Heinen looking to combine with Schwartz. Schwartz again in on frame, just wide. Another great opportunity for Cole Schwartz, looking very active since coming on at halftime. Two great chances, one near miss just there. Previously, a great save by the Inter keeper, and you're starting to see what Coach Prunty was maybe seeing by bringing in Schwartz up top to try to get those fresh legs in, getting a little more activity, and obviously someone who has a nose for going to target. Inter Minneapolis choosing to go short off the goal kick, finding a nice ball into the midfield. Good turn. Ethan Anderson on the ball, finds Plaza. Plaza into Popkin. Back to Plaza. Choosing to step on it and go backwards, keep possession. As Popkin tries to find Schwartz. Into Levine. But Orser able to step through there. Referee says he went through the back of Levine. Didn't quite see that, but Inter Minneapolis has another free kick around the midfield area. Choosing to go backwards. Back into Ishmael. Habat tracking back. Good defensive track back by Habat, finding Mitch Wolf. Into Orser, kind of in no man's land there. Under pressure by two Inter players, choosing to go out of bounds. The safe thing to do there. Cross coming in. Free header over the top of Hoft. Referee choosing to let that go out for the goal kick as Mitch Wolf looks to get this one into play. Anderson on the ball, taking up his space, finding Susi. Ball gets passed through into Heinen with a shot. Looks as if there was a deflection, not giving it goal kick to Inter Minneapolis. It's like Heinen was trying to find that curler back post, but didn't quite wrap his foot around the ball. We have an Inter Minneapolis player down. The foul's definitely swinging by from a difference from the first half into the second half, where the persistent fouls were really coming from Inter Minneapolis, and now Minneapolis City is the one that looks to be more of the aggressor here in the second half. Inter Minneapolis choosing to go short with the free kick there, as Heinen looks to chase. Inter keeping possession. Trying to move the ball, maybe adjust the point of attack here, try to keep Minneapolis City on their toes. Great interception by Popkin. Nice footwork into Habat, finding Schwartz. Out to Susi. Susi playing the ball in. Habat getting a foot on it. Ruiz Plaza stepping through, has an opportunity to shoot, passes it up. Keeping possession, finding Heinen. Heinen looking to capitalize on it. Schwartz not completing his run, but a good idea. Now back on the other end, Levine with a great turn. And Heinen looking to try to break that up, stopping the counterattack. Ruiz Plaza in there, Hoft in there. Susi in there. And Inter keeps the ball. Susi looking to connect with Schwartz, unsuccessful. And looks as if the referee is calling a break in the action. Allowing time to be stopped for Ramadan. So while we have a break in the action, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Pence Homes. Purchasing or selling a home can be a difficult process, but you are in luck with the experts at Pence Homes. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Pence Homes is the top choice for buyers and sellers in the Minneapolis area. Pence Homes, a division of Keller Williams Classic Realty Northwest. Visit pencehomes.com. Twin City Orthopedics. Contact sports are bound to cause both minor as well as major injuries during a season. Minneapolis City is in great hands with our longtime sports medicine partner, Twin Cities Orthopedics, to get properly trained and keep our players on the field. If you're looking for rehabilitation from an injury, TCO offers a wide range of specialty services to help you achieve your goal of returning to full health. Visit tcomn.com. And finally, Southside Barber Lounge. If being stuck at home this last year has taught us one thing, it is that personal care may have fallen down a few pegs on the priority list. Well, you are in luck. With services ranging from basics like your routine haircut and beard trim to advanced options like specialty cuts or hot lather shaves. Those sound great right about now. Southside Barber Lounge, located on 38th in Bloomington and Minneapolis, is your one-stop shop for men's grooming. For more information on Southside Barber Lounge, visit southsidebarberlounge.com. Well, we're at the 70th minute on a Ramadan break here. And the action's really starting to tune up. I would say that the possession arrow has leaned more so to Inter Minneapolis in the second half, going away from, in brief spots, away from the more direct long ball style, which has given Levine all he can handle for Inter Minneapolis up top, constantly having to track down long balls. And Minneapolis City is still trying to keep their foot on the ball and retain possession, but once again, like in the first half, falling short in the final third. But we're 1-1, folks, here at Edor Nelson Field on the campus of Augsburg University as we look to get closer back to action here. Goals in the 16th minute the 15th minute by Michael Levine for Inter Minneapolis, and in the 37th minute for Minneapolis City by way of Will Orser. So you're looking, if you're either Coach Jason Popkin or Coach Michael Prunty from Minneapolis City, you're really looking to figure out what do I have on the bench that I might be able to go to as we look into a little less than 20 minutes plus stoppage left in this game to try to crack this stalemate. And for Minneapolis City, it looks as if they've already tried to make some earlier adjustments in order to try to find different combinations. It's been somewhat successful in Heinen coming on most recently and finding a good rapport with striker Cole Schwartz, who came on at half. For Inter Minneapolis, it's really looking at getting Levine some help up top, constantly trying to chase those long balls down. Even when he successfully retains that possession, not a lot of options for him to lay the ball off or potentially even go at, to turn and go at a single defender, because he's the only person against that four-man Minneapolis City back line. But as we look to get back to the action here, it looks as if we're going to have potentially a drop ball situation right around the 30-yard line in the Inter Minneapolis defensive third. Not quite sure what the referee's going to decide to do here, but we'll get the play underway. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am John Bisworm. If you didn't hear me in the beginning, I'm solo tonight. It's very difficult, folks, to call a soccer game, specifically when you're doing it by yourself. So thanks for bearing with me, and we really appreciate all your support as we get the 2021 season for the UPS Midwest West Conference action underway. Habat on the ball, looking to maybe to go back for that foul and play the ball in from a direct kick, but Inter Minneapolis stuffing that out. Axos on the ball, still bodies forward, looking to find a pass in. Orser on the other end of it, but Inter Minneapolis clearing it out for another corner kick. It's like we had a ball go out of bounds. Getting another one thrown in here. Looks like we have too many on the field. And Habat looks to take this corner kick from the right side. Service goes in. Not a white shirt around. Heinen getting on the other end of it, trying something tricky. Looking to flip the ball over the defender. Looked to be a handball, but the center official's going to get the consultation from his assistant referee on the far side, saying that it wasn't a handball and that we're going to end up starting with the restart from the goal kick for Inter Minneapolis. Good bit of luck there. Looked like a handball to me in the box, but to no avail. Inter Minneapolis gets the goal kick, and we're back into play. Orser with an unlucky challenge there, but Anderson cleaning things up. And that ball, folks, definitely hit a car on the freeway. We're going to have a lot of those this season. If anyone from Augsburg is listening, perhaps maybe a higher net from a safety perspective might be a wise investment. Inter with an opportunity here. Good tackle by Anderson as Orser clears out. Springing Cole Schwartz, beating both defenders. In on the keeper with a left-footed shot and another goal, folks. 2-1 Minneapolis City. What a great clearance that just happens to be on the path of a streaking Cole Schwartz, fighting off both defenders. And in the 76th minute, just fresh off of our Ramadan break, Cole Schwartz gives the home side a 2-1 lead. And just like that, we talked about it, a well-placed through ball with a sleeping defense can really unlock this, and we now see the game changing with just under 20 minutes plus stoppage time left as Minneapolis City at home goes up 2-1 by way of Minneapolis City forward Cole Schwartz. Inter Minneapolis going long. Good defensive play by Orser, stopping that out. As Minneapolis City looks to break, ball on Popkin with space. Heinen making a run. And Popkin overcooking the pass to Heinen. connecting that potentially could have sprung forward a secondary pass into Cole Schwartz and potentially adding a back-to-back goal. Inner looking to clear. Susi with the pressure. Axo's getting beaten probably for the first time tonight. Inner with a great opportunity. Ball coming in. Not able to clear. Inner still on it. And Levine all alone. No goal side defenders. And minutes after Minneapolis City takes the lead, Michael Levine, number 18 for Inter Minneapolis, on the back of a single goal, now has 2 on the day and brings this game level again. Absolutely deflating for a team that just goes down and brings the game back into their favor to give up a goal. Not great clearance off that cross from the Minneapolis City defense. Unable to get a foot on it or had anything on it, really. And the ball coming back in, not getting tight on those marks, and Levine finds himself wide open. Nothing Minneapolis City goalkeeper Mitch Wolf could have done about this. Now the game's really going to open up, folks, as the energy is there for both sides, just coming off of the backs of goals, and we're really going to see things widen from a perspective of chances being taken. Minneapolis City on possession, Plaza in, looking to carry to switch the field. Doesn't have many options. Out to Popkin, back to Orser. Getting directions from behind from goalkeeper Mitch Wolf. Into Habat. Checking back into the middle. Looking to find Susi. But Inter getting just enough of a head on it to redirect it back to the goalkeeper. Choosing to go short. Finding Captain Ishmael in the middle. Going back. Looks like we have a stoppage going on. And we have a player down. Looks as if the player down, not sure what happened. Potentially something, maybe someone coming through after the play, or potentially maybe some cramps. But it's number 6, Samuel Ruiz Plaza for Minneapolis City, but getting up on his feet. As we'll restart the play with an Inter Minneapolis throw-in. Referee jogging over. Checking the ball. Not quite sure what's happening here. There's looking to see some activity on the Minneapolis City sidelines for maybe a potential third substitution. Bad giveaway by Inter. Popkin on the ball. Chooses to go back to Anderson. Anderson swinging through Orser. Orser to Axos. Bot with a giveaway. Ball going into Levine. Trying to connect. Bot into Schwartz. Schwartz with a turn. Fighting off defenders. Maisie run. Looking for Heinen. Back to Schwartz and a deflection. That looked to be definitely having sights going in the goal, folks. Minneapolis City with another corner kick opportunity here. You'd hope for Minneapolis City that one of these does land. Popkin once again taking it and it not getting the ability to get it past the first defender. But Inter looks to counter here as Minneapolis City is feverishly trying to get back into some defensive shape in order to eliminate this counterattack. As Inter goes wide and Mitch Wolf comfortably stopping that attempt. Opts for the throw. Finding Hoft with some space. Into Popkin. Popkin finding Susi with the ability to go at the defender here. Beats his defender. Slots the ball in. Oh, just behind Schwartz. Habat chasing it down. Good tackle to keep it. Hoft on the ball. Finds Habat. Back to Hoft. To Susi. Susi to Popkin. Good opportunity there for Minneapolis City. Just a foot behind the streaking Schwartz, who could have potentially gotten on the score sheet for the second time today. As we're 81 minutes in, folks, just a little bit under 9 minutes left plus stoppage. Anyone's game as we're tied 2-2 on the back of 2 goals from Michael Levine, 1 for Orser and 1 for Schwartz for Minneapolis City. Orser on the ball. Finding Axos. Streaking through. Clipping it into Schwartz. Schwartz trying to flick it. Would have been a nice 1-2 if it could have connected. And a little bit of time wasting looks like for the Inter keeper. Very interesting. You don't necessarily see, unless maybe you're in the first leg of a Champions League, folks, where a team that's not winning decides to potentially take the air out of the ball a little bit. Comfortable with the draw at the moment. Levine with a great pass back. And the end-to-end action is starting to happen now. Axos fighting for the ball. Good defensive play. Backheel to Habat to get out of pressure. Habat finding Heinen. Good 1-2, leaving the defender on the carpet. Ball into Schwartz. Back to Habat. Out wide to Hoft. Taking the first touch and shooting the ball just wide. He had numbers in the middle. He had not only Susi, he had Schwartz, Heinen, and Popkin all in great chance creation spaces, but choosing to go to target, going just wide. Inter goes short to get the ball started. Levine checking back in. Good footwork. Going long. Great first touch. Second touch letting the Inter forward down. And the ball going, staying in. Now going out for a goal kick. For those of you joining us, whether you're here live, paid for a ticket, or you're watching online, very great start to UPSL action for both Inter Minneapolis and Minneapolis City. The referee's going over to the sidelines to check on something. Potentially a substitution. Ball played in by Wolf. I think we may have had a substitution off frame, but we'll get to it here in a second. Susi fighting. And yes, we did have a substitution for Minneapolis City. The 4th substitution in the 84th minute. We'll get to it in a second here as Inter has an opportunity to keep possession in the defensive there for Minneapolis City. Ball clipped in. Mitch Wolf off of his line and comfortably collecting that. In the 84th minute, we saw Nils Gilbrunson making his way into the match for the first time for Jacob Popkin. So going for another attacker for Coach Prunty. Definitely trying not to leave points on the field here. Adding in a 4th striker with the option from a size perspective maybe to get on the other end of it. Gilbrunson is a big body and potentially looking at a 4-4-2 formation here as we close out these last few minutes of the game. Good step by Habat. Schwartz get good hold-up play, keeping the ball with the white shirts. Axos, again, making another run. Good step over. Cutting in. Choosing to go back to Habat. With the service in, a little more on that would have found another opportunity for Schwartz. He's finding good pockets of space for himself to be an option, but that final ball again for Minneapolis City not able to connect. As Ruiz Plaza scans the field, time and time again, into Gilbrunson, out to Axos with the first touch, the ball in. Another opportunity that goes through three offensive players for Minneapolis City. Hope with a good opportunity to step in. Another shot and a deflection. Schwartz has found himself in good opportunities, like I was mentioning. Just that last piece, which can't find the dangerous pass that breaks through. But another goal kick in the dying minutes of the second half for Minneapolis City, setting the bigger bodies up as Orser's getting in that. Gilbrunson just coming on with his size, maybe able to get on the end of this. And it looks like we have another stoppage here by the official. And we have a substitution, so we can catch some numbers here for Inter Minneapolis. Not quite sure who came off, but entering the game for Inter Minneapolis. At the end of this, I will definitely get at least the player coming on. Ethan Anderson getting on the end of it. The Inter goalkeeper and the defender having just a massive error as Heinen takes the quick corner kick into Habat, finding Axos, who plays the ball in. Gilbrunson gets a flick just over the crossbar. Good opportunity for Minneapolis City there. And it looks as if the substitution coming on for Inter Minneapolis is number 5, Shizobam and Keme. Not quite sure who he came on for. Sorry about that, folks. Didn't quite catch the numbers, but in for Inter, number 5, Chizabam Nakeme. Inter goalkeeper pushing his back line up, choosing to go long. Ball out wide. Back into the center for a streaking option here. And the shot letting the newly entered in Keme. Interesting first touch. Coming onto the match, having an opportunity and scuffing it wide. In a tight match like this, those are the things that count. Whenever you have that opportunity, you have to capitalize on it. At least putting it on target and requiring Minneapolis City goalkeeper Mitch Wolf to make a save. Ball into Gilbrunson, fighting for it as Ruiz Plaza ends up collecting it. Back to Anderson. And Anderson choosing to go long. Into Heinen, great chest to bring it down. Fighting through. Good defense by Inter. Referee letting the ball play as it looked as if there was a clattering of players. You have a player down for Inter. As Captain Ishmael is trying to plead his case that was a foul. Referee said all ball, but definitely seeing the Inter Minneapolis player land hard on the turf. That's number 12 for Inter Minneapolis, and that's Albert Yaka. Just have a few words for the official. Back up on his feet. Drop ball going to Minneapolis City. To Wilt Orser. Plays the ball into Anderson, switching the point of attack out to Hoft. Into Susi. Out wide to Axos. With some space. Putting the ball into Susi. Has an overlapping Hoft. Trying to find Schwartz. Schwartz goes over the top to Hoft. Unsuccessful. But Susi with a great job to track back as Minneapolis City keeps possession via Ruiz Plaza. Out to Hoft with space. Playing the ball in. Potentially a handball there, but good defense. And good battle by the Inter Minneapolis defenders. Levine with a nice flick. Unsuccessful. Orser cleaning that up to Susi. And another Inter player down on the turf. This time looks to be cramping instead of a foul. But the training staff is going to come on to have a look at the Inter Minneapolis player. We're looking at the 90th minute, folks. Plus stoppage here. Probably going to add some more on. We had the Ramadan break, which was a good chunk of stoppage time. But now we also have a player down, getting some attention. So we will have some extra free soccer for you tonight. As soon as the Inter Minneapolis player gets sorted out, he's back on his feet. Good for him. So the referees maybe explaining how much stoppage time there is going to be tonight. I think he might have shown 5 minutes. And the drop ball, which was more of a shovel pass. Going long into Levine. Good win by Ethan Anderson. But Inter keeps possession into Levine. Good turn. Firing from distance. But again, easily collected by Mitch Wolf. From a goalkeeping perspective tonight, Mitch Wolf hasn't had to do it a lot as he plays that long ball in. Schwartz looking to maybe find a streaking Heinen. Wasn't quite on the same page there. Go back, and again, a little bit of time wasting for Inter Minneapolis, looking to be okay with coming away with the draw here on the road in their first ever competitive match in the UPSL. But back to, from a goalkeeping perspective, Mitch Wolf hasn't really had a ton to do. A few saves here and there, giving up the 2 goals, one via breakaway and one being just a bad defensive mistake. But most of the things that have come in have been from distance and easily collected by Wolf as he does so there, finding Orser into Axos, finding Habat, back to Axos, slipping it through to Heinen. The good turn, sliding, trying to keep it in off of the Inter Minneapolis defender for a corner kick. No, goal kick. The referee is saying that the ball was over the line. Much of the dismay of Heinen, feeling that he kept that in. And Inter completely happy to take the air out of the ball here and walk away with a point on the road in this first match of the UPSL Midwest West Conference action between Minneapolis City and Inter Minneapolis. Tied at 2-2 here in stoppage time as both teams having their chances and not able to capitalize in the dying moments here. Minneapolis City probably having the most chances of substance as the ball goes into Schwartz, into Heinen with an opportunity. Good collective defense from Inter Minneapolis and Heinen with the giveaway. But keeping the ball in the zone, Hoft ends up getting caught in by a great tackle. And another foul with Inter Minneapolis getting an opportunity here to start, but not looking necessarily to take their time. Because we're probably seconds away here. Minutes, but definitely not a lot of time left for either team to get the elusive third goal to break this tie. Orser tracking the ball down, getting run over by the defender. Thought it was a foul, but Connor Axos cleaning up the damage there and knocking the ball out for what looks to be a throw-in. Deep into stoppage time, you can see Coach Popkin telling his players to just relax a bit as this throw comes in. An opportunity to serve one in. Again, a free header by Inter Minneapolis. In the dying stages of a game, Minneapolis City has to lock those up because not being goal side or touch tight on those attackers, whether it be Levine or any of the other players coming through centrally, that can lose you a match. Anderson overcooking one to Habat. End of the game mistakes here could be proven costly if Minneapolis City doesn't lock this up. Definitely want to get the 1 point, not drop any points at home, but Inter Minneapolis with Ishmael, Captain Abdi Ishmael, free shot from 25 yards out, not really testing goalkeeper Mitch Wolf, but a good opportunity to potentially take a touch there and carry the ball maybe 5 to 8 yards closer, but choosing to hit the ball first time out wide for a goal kick as Wolf sends one long. Hoft on the head. And that'll do it, folks. The scoreline 2-2, end-to-end action in this second half sees Inter Minneapolis coming into Edor Nelson Field and taking 1 point from the home Minneapolis City 2. Great matchup for the first set of soccer in over a year, folks. We'll be back at you in a few minutes with the post-game recap. Welcome back, folks. I am John Bisworm, your host tonight for this UPSL Midwest Western Conference match that saw Inter Minneapolis come into Edor Nelson Field and take 1 point away from Minneapolis City 2. Both of these teams entering this match with being their first ever match in the UPSL Midwest Conference. There was an opportunity for both sides to really take this one home, take the full three points home, but to no avail. We send home each team home with a draw. For me, key points to the game, definitely the inability for Minneapolis City to connect on that final pass in the final third. Lots of chances left on the table. The first half seeing Batule with 2 free headers. In the second half seeing Inter Minneapolis really then flipping the script and having their own free headers, one going the way of the second goal to equalize almost seconds after Minneapolis City had gone ahead. But that final pass really let Minneapolis City down, and those chances that were created through some nice run of play and some very good possession saw the defense from Inter Minneapolis really put a shift in tonight and keep this game knotted at 2. Scoreline, just as a refresher, first half in the 15th minute, Michael Levine opened the scoring for in the match for Inter Minneapolis. Then followed up by a 37th minute goal off of a free kick play from Will Orser for Minneapolis City. That's how it was going into the break. And then in the second half, 76th minute, Cole Schwartz on a breakaway, finding the back of the net, and then immediately in the 78th minute, Michael Levine getting his brace, 2 goals on the night. A lot of work for that guy, chasing down all his long balls, but finding the back of the net twice and almost for the hat trick to see Inter Minneapolis potentially through for 3 points tonight, but to no avail. So the game tied at 2-2. For me, man of the match for Minneapolis City has to be left defender Connor Axos. The St. Thomas product put in a shift both on the defensive end but also on the offensive end with the consistent willingness to have the overlapping run and really played in quite a few dangerous balls off of that left foot from the wing's back spot. So that'll do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us in this UPSL Midwest West Conference match. Again, 2-2 tie, seeing each team take away a point. We will be back at you on the road this Friday, taking on FC Minnesota up in Osseo, on Sunday, up in Osseo against FC Minnesota. Sorry for the incorrection there. At Osseo High School, 5 p.m. Tickets online, $10. You can purchase those through the FC Minneapolis website, but again, it's up in Osseo, 5 p.m. seeing MC2 taking on FC Minneapolis. And then Friday night, NPSL soccer action, seeing Minneapolis City taking on Dakota Fusion in the second game of their season, just coming off of tonight, from what we're hearing, a 3-0 victory versus the Sioux Falls Thunder in Sioux Falls. So Minneapolis City taking 3 points home, and we will be back at you for that game on these airways. That game will be live, and you can check out MinneapolisCitySC.com for that game information. It'll be clicking you through to My Cuju, or you can just come on out. It's supposed to be a beautiful night, 70-degree weather. Come on out and check out the home opener for Minneapolis City. Once again, I am John Bisworm, co-founder and current sporting director of Minneapolis City. It was a pleasure to be with you tonight. Thank you for bearing with me doing this solo. I promise to have someone with me to help do the heavy lifting as we get into the season. But we appreciate you being with us again for some live soccer.